Hello, hello. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. Oh shoot. I think I left my phone upstairs. Which helps me log in for stuff and see about who paid for what. Oh well, we will see what we see here. Who's here? Say hello. Um, I'm just logging to see who's paid for questions. If you're wondering, since I don't have my phone. Mm, I've got Cindy for 2 questions. No, I just have to find where my live went. Sorry. There we go. Is that you, Cindy? Are you here? Or someone else just? So, who's here today? Say hello. We have to end by 5:30. Sorry for the short day. I have to get my daughter to a pool party from 6 to 8. There we go. All right. So, Cindy, what do you know? What's your question? Oh, my daughter logged on. Would you get off of here? Is Merson Law going to accept a case for the malpractice lawsuit? Please get off of here, Daisy Grace. Say bye-bye. Thank you so much. um, okay, let's see. I do feel like they will, but it feels like there's some kind of caveat to it. So I don't know what that means, but it's like, I mean, like it's like there's obviously going to be some kind of retainer or something like that. I don't really know, but it says yeah, but it just feels like some kind of caveat to it. Um, I mean, you have the Holiday Inn here, and I feel like because it was on a Thursday, you'd have the extra time. Um, I think they're just doing their due diligence to see that it would like be beneficial for them to take it. Hi, Allie. How are you? So I don't think it's like that they're avoiding it. It just feels like looking up and doing their due diligence to make sure that like they have standing or something like that. You started with them between December and January. Okay. It's invite second view. Okay. Okay. It's in its second review. Yeah. So it feels like it's just doing their due diligence. So I feel like they will. It's just being extra careful because I saw it as like handing it off to juniors is the way I saw it. And asking them to review, like basically what I saw was like as being precedents, case precedents to make sure. But I do feel like they'll take it. And March stands out as being significant. So I don't know if it's like settled in March or exactly what that means, but March seems important. I'm sorry if my chewing is bothering anybody. Okay. And I did get your email, by the way. I just didn't respond because I felt like I understood and I did, I just wanted you to know that. Like I saw it, I read it. I feel your frustration. What's your second question? You're wondering if you will be able to rent new office space to other clinicians. Yes. I also feel like they'll be like-minded and like a little bit more spiritual minded. I actually feel like there's going to be 2 females and a male that will rent this space. So I don't know how many offices you have in there. If it's 4, sorry about like leaning on the table and then feeling like you're in a little bouncy house. You want to do a couple of days a week to them and then can pay off the rent. It's only 1. So maybe it'll be like, maybe it'll be split days. So I saw 3 other people. So there might be someone who wants to just do like weekend work. And then somebody who wants to do like evenings or whatever, but it feels like there might be 4 of you. So that's a yes. Hello, whoever else is here. Welcome. Say hello. And save money and make extra. Yeah. Hi, Sachin. Good to see you. So I won't be on here long today just because I have to take one of my daughters to a pool party. Actually, 2 of my kids both of them are, 2 of them are going. One of them's for the party. One's just going to swim. So probably good that it seems to be a pretty quiet day. You're very welcome, Cindy. I hope all of the coast is clear now with all of the other stuff on the home front. So if anybody wants a question, they're $12 a question. And 30% goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. He is who he is. Isn't that on the yeah. It's good to know your boundaries and just checking to see if anybody else paid for a reading, which I don't have anybody, so. How do we remove the evil eye? I mean, look, people come from their own belief systems about, I guess I believe that our beliefs create our reality, right? And so if I believe that somebody's jealousy has any kind of power over me, I hate this. Okay, sorry. I don't know what I'm trying to do. If we believe that, sorry, I'll stop. My hair will just be weird. If we believe that somebody else's jealousy or hatred or whatever has any power over us, then guess what? It does. But if I just believe, I'm like, well, that's something within them. If they don't have what they want in life and they see that as, and they're envious or whatever, that's their own deal. But that doesn't stop me from my own blessings, my own path and journey. I guess I don't subscribe to the belief system that somebody else has power over me. So, like, if you believe in curses, then guess what? Curses exist. If you believe that someone can curse you, then guess what? That's possible. I just don't believe that somebody gets to have a say over my life and my free will. I don't know what to do here. I don't know. I can't. I need a mirror. I need a mirror, not the stupid camera that's not mirroring me. That's like, because my curls are all over the place. Okay, we're just gonna have to deal with this. So I guess that's my belief system. So I mean, I spent a long time, many years, being afraid, and like, oh, what could people hold over me, or how could people somehow take my power away? And I just like found, first of all, I found peace in working on my own self-concept and my own affirmations, and also like learning that like I guess I came to a place of any belief system that projects fear is not a belief system I'm subscribing to. Because, hi, Julia, good to see you. Because I believe that anytime I've ever like followed any sort of belief system, whether it's in Christianity or whatever, that like used fear as a tactic for following, I never felt whole and connected. I was constantly seeking outside of myself for validation. And like my goal here is to help you feel more empowered than to feel like, you can't figure this out. Like your happiness comes from within. I'm sure you've heard that. And a lot of that has to do with like building your own self-concept and realizing that there's nothing outside of you that's going to make you happy if you don't have a good self-concept. Yes. Can you use the what? Poscas? I'd rather you not, only because the last time there's paint all over and it's permanent paint. So it's like hard to get out of stuff. There's some markers. I have some art markers.
No, that don't stain really.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. There's some art. I mean, they're permanent, but they don't drain through. I'd have to find them. Can you let me do this?
Okay, Mom, do you know that in like fresh packs that that's used
next to my bed? Colored pencils?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I'd have to go look, and I'm in the middle of this right now.
Colored pencils are.
I don't. Ask your sisters. Ask Daisy to help you. I'm so sorry. I can't. I just off the top of my head, I can't name it. Oh, thank you. So, how do you develop psychic abilities? So, I believe that everybody is intuitive. And really, you're just building a language and connecting with source that way through your own language. So I want you to think about times when you've had an intuitive hit. And even if you didn't listen to it, think about how it came in. And when things come in, because it's a language you get to build. So you get to decide what the symbols are. So like, if I said to you, what does a butterfly mean to you? What would you say? And I'll wait for you to respond, because I'm actually like, what does that represent to you? So we'll say a butterfly, a feather, and a swimming pool. What do those represent to you? I better write this down so I don't forget what I told you. Anybody can answer these. So this will be a little build your intuition exercise. So anyone can write, like if you got a butterfly, a feather, or a swimming pool, write all three down. What do they represent to you? And you can put your answers in the comments, because you'll see everybody's is a little different. Butterfly is new beginning and new evolution of life. Beauty. Hi, Shatha. Yes.
But do you know where the gum is?
The gum
The new gum.
in upstairs in the kitchen is the bag with all of the stuff in it.
I looked in there.
Look on the counter. Did we put it in the bag?
I don't know where it is.
I wonder if it didn't make it in the bag. I know that's very frustrating. I will stop and get you some more, okay?
Mom, do you know where any gum that's like that is?
Yeah, there's in the drawer, in the top drawer where there's all the candy and stuff, there's the pink bubblegum flavor gum. And
that circle?
It's in the plastic container.
I don't like the glass.
Okay, I don't have any other. I'm doing readings and I need you to stop now. I love you so much, but it is time for you to stop interrupting over this stuff. Please close the door. Please close the door. I will deal with it. I do not have a long time.
I have candy.
Yes, go. And then do not come back again, please. Do I have it pinned? My daughter is she just has her mind set on something and she can't stop, and her dad's not here. So it's just what it happens. It's what happens when you're a mom and you have little kids. I will pin it for you. Give me just a second. She's 7, so she's little, and sometimes when our wants and needs are when we're little, we don't know how to process through them. Okay, there, I pinned it. Okay, so for some people, butterfly will be, the people will say like, oh, that means your loved one is around. For some people, and you'll say like a feather is a message from someone, or a swimming pool might mean like summer and fun and vacation with your families, where someone else might see a pool as because they had a background where they'd never learned to swim, or maybe they were forced to do a whole bunch of swim lessons and were miserable, or they were on swim team and they had to do all the stuff to like, make their parents proud, but really it was just this like miserable sore point, whatever it is. And so if they have this like negative experience, then they're not going to see a swimming pool the same way somebody else was. So that's why I say like you're developing your own language. You get to decide the symbols, and source or spirit or guides or whatever you want to call it, use your experiences to filter through messages through you, through symbols. Sometimes you're lucky enough to get whole sentences and words, but a lot of it's like feelings and symbols and things like that, at least for me. So what I teach people is that your intuition it's calm, cool, collected, and quick. So you're never going to feel anxious or nervous around this. You're never going to feel, I got your payment. You're never going to feel like your brain is in a hamster wheel, like constantly going and finding new reasons and things like that. So that's not your psychic abilities. That's your anxiety that's trying to keep you safe, but it does a terrible job of it. Okay, so what is your question, Shatha? Hi, Paul. Paul, these are paid readings, and I pinned the payment. It's $12 a reading, and 30% goes to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Do you prefer love or career? Which one, Shatha? So when you look at it like that, you'll see like some people have similarities and some people have differences, but you will see that it's really based on your own belief systems and your own experiences that filter your language that you're developing. Luck. Okay. Julie, I got your payment. It's funny because the way your information comes through, it sounds like I'm reading an like an astrology little report in the back of a magazine, because it says loneliness abounds until the new year, through the new year. So it feels like, you're going to be alone, single, or feeling alone through the end of the year. And then it was like a new breakthrough occurs in January. And I feel like this is like, even though they're saying loneliness, I feel like it's more about connecting with yourself, going within, really doing some self-focused work, and then feeling like fresh and new and ready to, they said attack the world, but not like attack, but just like moving forward in an energy that feels more empowered starting in January. I feel like it's interesting, more closer to the Chinese New Year. I think that's around February, is where I actually feel like a new adventure occurs for you, meeting somebody new, or maybe you met them just slightly earlier and you decide to be committed to each other around that time. Okay, Christine, I'll check. So that's what I'm picking up for you for love life. Let me see about email. Sorry. Are you emailing me your question, or are you going to write it there? Give me just a second. I just have to come back to where I was. I don't see who. They're not showing me who. A lot of times I won't actually see a lot about who it is. I mean, I can see that he has darker hair and dark eyes and a little bit of like a 5 o'clock shadow kind of scruff to him. I see him in lighter color clothing, like a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. I do feel like he cares about his looks, but other than that, I'm not getting a he does this or he does that, or this is his name. Okay, so I have Christine and Julia for questions. I already told you the timeline on it. I'm trying to decide how to prioritize my spending with a new car to be able to transport my horses, to take them to save for off-road, or if I should wait until next year and just ride at home. Wait. Okay, so your question is, you want to know, would it be better for you to get the new car that you need in order to take your horses and ride somewhere else, or just keep them at home and ride them? Am I reading that correctly? And then Christine, I'll answer yours while I'm waiting for her answer. Should you increase your rent in the house B77 by $100 by next month, split 4 ways with tenants, had to put a new AC condenser, $2,600. I'm getting a hard no on that. My feeling around it is not now is the time to increase the rent. It's when you renew their lease. So if their lease is done yearly and it's not time to renew it right now, it feels like no, it would not be a good time. And I don't mean to be like, I'm leaning more towards like, I see something about August, but then I also see October. So I don't know if they renew in August, but there's those 2 months are coming up for me. Oh, I just saw the August one. Okay. So, if they've already signed, I feel like going there and doing anything other than like it's like you can do that, but it's kind of like a not cool thing to do, I guess is the best way for me to put it. Like, so there's something about October seems important. So have you already given them the lease to sign? Because this is like not a 30-day thing. Like, have they already signed it? I'm going to tell you from it. Like, I know what, like, they're telling me, like, no, don't increase it. Like, I don't, like it won't fall back upon you in favorably, energetically speaking, is the way I want to say that. It feels like, yeah, maybe give them notice in October or, I don't know exactly. Cause I don't know that legally you can once you've leased it. Like, I don't know where you're at. So I don't know, and I certainly don't know all of the state laws between landlords and renters. And I mean, my feeling is that you have good tenants that can afford what they're going to pay right now. And my feeling is if you increase it even $100, that puts them in a tough spot and you lose good renters. So it feels like even if you have to wait a year to increase it to recoup your expenses, that would be better than doing it because your goal is to have good tenants. And unfortunately, like that's a big hit for the AC condenser, but it's also like part of being a property owner, right? Like being a homeowner, there's a lot of expenses that I incur because I'm a homeowner. So it feels like next year is the time to raise it. That this year it would be like you would actually end up like they would end up not being able to like continue. It would hurt them. It would strap them. B, you would lose good tenants, and the people that you would pull in would not be great as a result, energetically speaking. Because what we put out there gets reflected back to us. I also feel like at a point you're going to have a family in there versus being 4 individuals. That's my sense around it. That's just not. Okay, Julia, You said yes, that's correct. Okay, so around your car and so I'm gonna look at it differently than the way you're asking it. I'm gonna look at which would the horses prefer. Um, and my sense is that while I feel like do you have 4 horses? 3 now. Um, so it feels like 2 of them would enjoy going and riding somewhere else. One of them is kind of a really, pattern habit oriented animal. Um, and they prefer consistency. So I feel like for the time being, it's okay for you to kind of keep them where they're at. It's not like I feel like they would be happier, 2 are young and inexperienced. Okay. But I feel like they would like the adventure. And the one I feel like is very likes the habit of being, knowing the land, knowing where they're at. Doesn't it, they're fine staying where they're at. Um, So it feels like it would actually be just fine for you to take time to save up money for the vehicle versus feeling like I need to do this for them. Like I feel like they would that it'll be okay. I also feel like the 2 for over the next year will benefit from the consistency and also being guided by the older one, or like I see the older one sort of um, keeping the other 2 in line. And I feel like having that done in a place that that horse is familiar with will actually benefit them more. Yeah. So I mean, to give them that room of a year of growth and development might be better. Okay, Christine, thank you. So Christine, you said, why am I feeling during this current time that that you should go back to doing mental health therapy over doing property management for family businesses? Excuse my yawn. I'm not bored of you. I got woken up a lot last night. Your husband thinks you should do it sooner. I just always, I don't know. For in that case, I feel like it's really like looking at your horse's personalities. I mean, you could always talk to them and see what they tell you. I mean, I had a friend who, and we're not super close or anything, but I was like, kept getting her. She kept popping up in my mind, and I was like, why do I feel like I have to check on you? You've been really popping in my mind. And her dog was ill and had a whole bunch going on, and she said, how do I know when it's the right time to put her down? Because um, she knew that that was going to be the eventual end because she had some terminal illness. And I said, well, why don't you talk to her? talk to her and ask her, is she suffering? Like, you'll get your answer. And she ended up having to put her down the next day. But talk to your animals. They'll let you know. Family business property managing. And you're doing family business property and you're feeling the mental health children where I get your degree. Oh, okay. So I will say this first and foremost, when you get that feeling, it's like usually because that's, I don't want to say where you're supposed to be because there's nothing we should be doing, but there's a reason it's pulling you more and more. I don't feel like you have to do one or the other. I feel like it would be a this and that versus a this or that. So it might not be doing the therapy full time. That might be a part-time thing where you take on a few clients, because they do feel like you're sort of susceptible energetically to taking on a lot of people's energy. I think that's sort of why you actually get a little exhausted managing the business end of stuff, because there's some not great energy in some of the families that you're watching over their businesses. And it feels like doing a little bit of both feels more of a beneficial thing for you. I don't know if that resonates at all. Excuse me, y'all. Hi, Joelle. Just wanted to give you some validation regarding my broken arm. You mentioned 8 weeks to heal, and you were right. I'm going into 8th week tomorrow, and I'm feeling, yay! Congratulations. So, Christine, does that resonate when I say that about doing both rather than doing, like, my feeling is like you do both, but not full time in either. And then also being empathetic. You're very welcome. I didn't do anything. Your body did all the work. I'm excited for you. Oh, and when you were asking, you asked me and I didn't get a chance to answer just because I kind of sort of got distracted about like, how am I going to do the classes? I don't know if I'm going to do in person, like what I was thinking and what I'm sort of like building the coursework around is doing. So asynchronous would be the coursework you do on your own. So I think it'll be like 6 modules where you can do those at your own pace. And then when you're done with those, I'm going to have where we meet like every 2 weeks in person, like as a group on Zoom. And we practice this with the same sort of idea of the way that we did in the private circles, where, people get to ask questions and then everybody starts to connect in with their intuition and things like that, or I'll have different exercises and have like, and that would be unlimited. So you'd pay a little bit more upfront for the coursework that's done asynchronously. And then you have unlimited access to me helping you grow your intuition in those office hours. So then like if you want to do it, do every single one for a while and you kind of like take a break and you're like, oh, I feel like checking it out again. Then you're not paying for it. You have access to it. And you join the circles. I'm sleeping great. Like I fall asleep easily and I could sleep all the way through the night. I have my coworkers who I live with, my children, they wake me up a bit. And so like one of them woke up with something and then the other one woke up with something. And my oldest one has a hard time sleeping. So she'll come in kind of a little bit later as I'm sort of drifting off. It just depends. So I got woken up several times. That's okay. That's what your mom wanted you to do. Well, That's sort of what I feel like you'll end up doing because I feel like it'll be end up being like a better balance for you energetically and emotionally speaking. Um, I'm happy to be wrong always. So Joel was asking me about, I did psychic development circles and I've done them, but I'm like I'm working with a marketing agency right now and working on different ways to do things so that I can offer a little bit more to more people, but also gives you a little bit more flexibility. And so I was going to offer some asynchronous courses online or in an app. And I've looked at several different apps. There's one I use for another thing that might be interesting, but and then so like you would do the modules on your own at your own pace, and then when you're ready, like you can jump into the my office hours where I we work together on you building your own intuition, and they'll be different. Like one week would be mediumship, another week might be um, I don't know, what's it called, psychometrizing, just do different exercises, and they'd be like every other week rather than every week. And you can just practice that way. So it gives everybody a chance. And if it becomes like too crazy, God willing, then I'd find another way around it. Maybe, I don't know, like find like either offer more office hours so that it's or have people sign up and be like the first however many people to sign up, join that week, whatever, with rotation. We'd figure it out. That would be so wonderful to have that problem, right? Where there's just too many people. Joel has been in my circles before. You send a PayPal. Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead and ask your question. And I always really enjoyed like teaching people how to connect with their intuition because I think so many people don't realize how subtle and normal it is that when they realize that's what it is, they're like, oh my God, I thought I was making that all up. And it's like, no, you weren't. The intuition part is like so calm and natural and like just like an undercurrent that people mix up their anxiety with that. And the anxiety is like that, like hamster in a wheel thought. You know, if you like watch a little hamster or a mouse in a wheel, and they're just running and running and running and running. Eventually, they get thrown off. Not really, but you've seen those ones. Those ones are funny too. They're just running and running and running, and like that's your anxiety thoughts. Those are the ones that are there to like to protect you. You know. I will send you details as soon as I have them. I actually need to sit down and like really focus on um, building the courses. I've been a little bit tied up with, you know, but I am. My goal is by September to have them kind of together. Yeah. I mean, I also want to. I do a lot of manifestation talk, so I'm thinking about maybe building a course around manifestation too because I love it so much and I really believe in it and I talk about it a lot and I talk about self-concept a lot. I have a little bit of imposter syndrome and I don't like, you know, and so I'm working on that too. I don't have imposter syndrome. I'm totally perfectly capable of being here. I mean, that's what I think of because it's what it feels like. And when I listen to people, no, like, you know, I had somebody do a reading, an email reading, and you know, she's a sweetheart, but and I've been in that feeling of like where your thoughts are just like you know, it's just like over and over and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it drives you insane and it makes you like, you know, it goes to all different kinds of places. So, okay. So your dad have been having some iron deficiency and also hearing problems. So we want to check on his health. What's his first name? Can I have that, please? And yes, I'm picking at my nails because I'm not really a good beauty person, and I probably should have gone and gotten these gel nail polish taken off by somebody professionally. And I'm like a little gerbil gnawing away at them instead of being a good beauty professional student. I'm not a student, I'm a beauty professional, but you know what I mean. Okay, Tufik. Is that right? Okay. I actually feel like it's giving him a lot of heartburn. Is that a thing for him? Like feeling a lot of heartburn or stomach issues because of it? Do you know if he has if he has a let me think of the name of it. Not a hernia, an ulcer. I will be happy to, Christine. um, he has a small heart issue, but I think it's anxiety and heartburn. Yes. Okay. I feel like he might have an ulcer, and that's why he's iron deficient. Um, I mean, his hearing issue, I want to say that he just needs, I mean, it's not that like he just needs, but hearing aid would be beneficial. But I don't think that it's like something that's like, I just think it feels like more like stiffening because of age, of the little bones in there because of age. Um, oh, you don't know because he doesn't go to the doctor a lot. Well, here's the thing about when we have family members who we know that something's wrong with and they don't want to do it, you go, okay, I'm washing my hands of this now. If you need me, let me know, but let the worries go. I know that's easier said than done, but when it's an adult, like I have sisters with one in particular who has a lot of mental health issues. We don't feel the need to fix others that will not, who either are help seekers, help rejectors, meaning like, I need help, but they refuse to do anything about it. Like, it is his responsibility as a whole grown ass human being to go and do the things that he needs to do to take care of himself. He has an appointment for his ear, which is fabulous because I'm going to tell you this. They are going to listen to doctors well before they'll listen to you. My mother, Christine, I got a payment again. My mother was here, and it had been several visits where she's watching the TV like this. But not only is she watching the TV like this or like this, and I will do this sometimes when I'm getting I have like an auditory issue where I hear too many of the background noises and it becomes very distracting to me. So if I need to focus, sometimes I will do that, but it's more about it's not because I can't hear, it's because I'm hearing too much of the background stuff. But my mom was doing because she couldn't hear. And I was like, Mom, I think you need your hearing check. Also, she was like not able to hear us when we were talking to her, and my kids in particular, probably because of where their pitch was. It was in that range where she couldn't hear. Was like, this is what it is for people my age. All of my friends are like this. And I'm like, so all of your friends are deaf? But I didn't say that. So, I mean, I used to be a nurse, right? So it's not like I don't know some of the stuff I'm talking about. So I was like, whatever. And I just learned to go, whatever. I even mentioned her thyroid once, and they were like, oh, like finally, like a year later, her doctor was like, oh, you have a nodule on your thyroid. Just because I could see, whatever. And then, but with her ears, she went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, I think you need your hearing checked. And by the way, hearing issues can lead to like Alzheimer's-y things, which that's what made my mom go get checked, not because I was like, I don't think you can hear our conversations. So he'll listen to the doctor. The feeling I get around the iron deficiency is around having an ulcer. One more question. Okay. My Volvo XC60, can you let me know as to anything any guys would want me to know? Let me know services as to maintenance. Wait, you're not allowed. Wait, are you? I'm not sure how much mechanical information I'll get going through. So you want me to look at the car and basically see if the car is healthy? I want to double check that one. So I think it might be a bleeding ulcer is what I feel like. That's what I feel. So I feel like it's linked to an ulcer, which might be why he's having heartburn. And those are treatable. Like a lot of times they'll test it for H. pylori and just give him the antibiotics he needs for that, and then it's a great day. Yeah, you're very welcome, Joelle. Okay, so Christine, you want me to look at the diagnostics of the car and see if you need maintenance or anything on it? Immediately as I said this, I heard back left tire. I feel like there's uneven wear. This is so weird. Sorry, this is a reading I've never done before. So I feel like you have uneven wear on the back left tire. I don't know why specifically that one would wear differently. So you might need a tire rotation, or maybe a new tire on that one. I don't know. There's something different about your back left tire. This is so weird. Okay. I do feel like it's an oil change is due soon, but that's not like anything crazy. I feel like there's a belt or something that has some dry rot on it. A fan belt that has dry rot, maybe? How old is your car? I don't feel like it should have dry rot yet, but I feels like does any of that make sense? I don't think there's anything major. I feel like it's like all like pretty easily fixable, but I feel like that fan belt, I want to say fan belt. And you leave it parked outside? Because I keep seeing like within, like has gotten within the, like the, those like the oak pollen little stringy things that look like little caterpillars. I keep seeing those in there, kind of caught up in there, but I don't think that that's causing any issues. I just think it would be a validation for you. Maybe it's the timing belt. I don't know. I saw a belt and I just feel like there's dry rot within it, but there's fan belts too, but it just feels like there's dry rot. Timing belt's much more expensive to repair to replace than a fan belt. And I don't feel like it's a ton. And plus, because the timing belt, sometimes you have to take stuff out, put stuff in. So it's more about the labor that you're paying for. And I only know that because I had I had such a lemon in college. It was an 86 Honda Accord that my dad bought and paid $1,500 for it, I think, or $1,200. So I could go to like nursing school and do my clinicals and stuff. Right. I don't feel like it's a timing belt. I feel like it's like, I heard fan belt. 2014. So I would just take, I mean, like, have you taken it in already and you've gotten the diagnosis? You're trying to see what I'm picking up on, or do you park it outside around an oak tree? Do you have like those little oak tree, little caterpillar pollen-y things? So it's like the back left tire. It's either there's I don't know, there's uneven wear. That one might need to be replaced. I mean, I feel like overall it's in pretty good health. Like, there's just things that go wrong with cars when they're older, or, with wear and tear and things like that. Maybe that's why I'm getting the dry rot in the belt. I don't think it's the timing belt, because I'm getting a feeling of like maybe the part's $100 and with the work it's like $300. It doesn't feel like, I mean, a timing belt can be much, much more expensive. And I think it's because, if I recall correctly, having had to have one replaced, I think they had to either take the engine out or take the transmission out, like take something out in order to get that in. And so it's really, you're paying for the labor over the part. When your mechanic says, when are you buying a new car? You need to buy it. Would you please just buy a new car? That means you got a really bad car. Do you park it under a tree? We got a double garage, and I was like insistent that I park my car in the garage because I'm like, I don't want to deal with the weather and little kids. And my husband's like, I'm fine with parking mine outside. I'm like, I don't want bird shit all over my car. Like, I just like, and my kids were so funny because our garage is actually air conditioned, and I think that's because somebody in the past used to work out in the garage. But my kids are funny about it because they're like, I'm so glad you do. The car will be so disgusting and hot today. I'm like, mm-hmm. You have oak trees. Okay, perfect. So that I am connecting in with it. So, so just take it in and have it looked at and just ask about the fan belt, or even look up in that model because maybe you can even see the fan belt, and see if you notice that. Hang on. Let me look up. You said XC60? I mean, the fan belt itself is like, I mean, if you need just the belt itself is only $40. So yeah, it doesn't feel like you would be spending a ton of money. And then if there's other little parts with it, that depends. I'm trying to see where it's at in the engine, if it's like a big thing to have to replace. Yeah, see, I feel like it's easy to access that because it feels like it wouldn't take a lot for them to do the work on it. Your mom keeps saying to take care of the car. You should take care of the car. Take care of it because that car takes you to A, B, C, D, all of those things. Be gentle with it. Be kind with it. That's how I feel. I feel like even though my car was like a lemon, that car would start up like nobody's business in 70 below wind chills in Wisconsin. So, I mean, she always started. I never, ever, like, just always. She was such a good car for that part of it. She had no air conditioning. No air conditioning or anything like that. And I had the flip up lights, like that look like little Popeye lights. And the left one would only pop up once I slammed my driver's side door, and then it would go. So she had character. But I loved her. She was a little 5-speed manual transmission. So, okay, I'm going to go because I have got to get a kid to a party and make sure the gift I have to put it in a little bag because I don't wrap things anymore. Just put them in bags. It makes life easier for me. And make sure the card is done and get her dressed in her bathing suit and all that. So no questions afterwards tonight. I hope everybody had a fabulous week. Enjoy your week coming up. And Christine, come join us again next week. Maybe we'll do, maybe we start doing like a little, either a live where we talk about manifesting, or I'll start making some manifestation videos on like what I've learned. Your boyfriend did the Chevy fan belt. I know where it is. Oh, okay, perfect. So, and maybe if he can fix it, then maybe it's a no big deal thing to fix it. But check it and see if you can even if he knows what he's talking about, have him look at it and see if it's got dry rot. But that's what I see. Otherwise, I think it's in pretty good shape. Needs oil change and that left back tire checked out. And check the fluids. Okay, so y'all have a fabulous week. I'll see you then. Thank you for joining me today. You used to live in Brown Deer. Where's Brown Deer? I went to school in Eau Claire. And I lived went to high school in a suburb of Milwaukee. Little flip flights. All right, I'm going to go. I got to quit. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.